Women have been conditioned by society to be, act, and think a certain way. Here at Girls IRL, we encourage women to challenge societal norms and embrace their femininity. With that being said, let's get into this week's episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Girls in Real Life podcast. I'm your host, Mariah Clayton, and I missed you guys so much. I know it's only been a week, but I hope y'all missed me as much as I missed you. And I feel like I have so much to catch you guys up on because the past week and a half has just been like absolutely crazy. So let's just go ahead and jump right into these life updates because I just feel like I'm going to talk y'all's ear off. But starting with Ace's daycare. The last time I talked to you guys, I told you that he was on his first day of daycare. I was so excited. I thought that he was going to do so well and everything was going to go good. Absolutely not. Okay. I honestly don't think Ace's daycare experience could have gone any worse, to be honest. Like, he literally was only there for 2 days. He was there on Thursday and Friday of that week that I ended up doing that recording. And he ended up getting sick on like Saturday or Sunday. Like Saturday, he was a little congested and I could tell that he was about to get sick. And then Sunday is when all hell just kind of like broke loose and he was feeling horrible. He couldn't breathe. He was coughing. He was running a little tiny fever and we didn't really know like what was going on. We just figured like, oh, he was at daycare. So of course he's going to get a little bit sick. So anyways, I ended up not taking him to school that Monday because he was just feeling so bad. And I was like, I'm not going to bring him to daycare while he's sick. Like, we're just not doing that. So then Tuesday, I start feeling bad, like horrible, like body aches. I can't breathe. My head is pounding, like my throat is hurting. Any symptom that you can think of, I had it. And I had to be in New Orleans that day all day for a photo shoot. So I was literally up at like 5:30 that morning and did not get back home until 6 o'clock that night. And I was just feeling so awful. I didn't know what was wrong. I knew that Ace had gotten me sick, but I just didn't think that it was anything serious. So actually that Tuesday, Justin brought Ace to the doctor because he had woke up Tuesday morning, throw up everywhere in his crib. And I was just like, what is wrong with my baby? Like, why is he throwing up? This has never happened before. So Justin's like, I'm just going to take him to the doctor. You go to your photo shoot and I'll let you know what the doctor says. So literally while I'm at the photo shoot, Justin texts me and is just one word. And the word is COVID. When I tell you, my jaw dropped to the floor and I just wanted to cry right then and there. I instantly called Justin and I'm like, are you sure like that's what Ace has? He was like, yeah, they just did the test on him. They said that it's COVID. So that meant that I had COVID and I didn't know. And I was at a photo shoot all day that day around makeup artists, hair people, other models. Like, it was just honestly the worst case scenario that I think could have happened. So we ended up just like all of us just stayed home for that whole week. Ace was feeling bad. I was feeling bad. Justin did get sick a little bit, but not like how me and Ace were sick. Like, me and Ace were literally in the trenches. And it was hard enough, like, trying to take care of myself while I was sick, but also having to take care of Ace while I was sick too. I was just like, this is too much. Like, I don't know how people do this. So anyways, needless to say, Ace went to daycare for 2 days, came back with COVID, gave it to me and Justin, and we are just now starting to get over it. Like, I still have a lingering cough. Like, I will literally cough for like 5 minutes straight at some points. Hopefully I don't do it today in this recording, but it has just been a lot. So needless to say, we took Ace out of that school immediately. And honestly, the COVID was just the straw that broke the camel's back, because even with us just dropping him off for those 2 days, I kept telling Justin, I was like, I don't really like this place. I'm not really vibing with it. I don't really love his teachers. I don't like the atmosphere when I'm walking in. Like, there were just a lot of things that I was questioning about this daycare. And like I told you guys, we were trying to pick between two daycares. And the one that we ended up liking the most, there was a wait list of 6 months to a year. So of course we put him on the wait list and then just decided that we were going to send him to the other school just as like a holding place just to see how it goes. And I wish that I would have never done that, honestly. Like I wish that I would have just been like, no, I'm just going to wait until the other school opens up, because then he wouldn't have had COVID. Also, he was crying like every day, and every time I went to go pick him up, they were just like, yeah, it was a bad day. And I'm like, how are you going to sit here and tell me that it was a bad day? Like, don't tell me that, because then that's making my little mommy mind worry about him all day long. Like, oh my gosh, I hope he's not crying. I hope he's eating. I hope that they're like taking care of him. You know, I just had all of these doubts in my mind, and it was just really, I don't know, it was just really hard. It was a lot. So anyways, I say all of that to say we actually got an email from the school that we liked while we were all like quarantined in the house, and they were like, we ended up getting a spot that opened. I wanted to offer it to Ace if you guys are interested. And so we said yes, and today, the day that I'm recording this episode, is actually his first day there. And it was hard because they said that he was going to be the oldest kid in his class, because he's on the cusp of like turning 1. So he was going to be in like the baby room, and he's 11 months old. So when I dropped him off today, he was literally in the room with like 5-month-olds, 6-month-olds. Like they can't even crawl or do anything. So me and Justin were worried, because we were like, we don't want him to, hit any of the other kids or like be super, I don't know, aggressive with them, because Ace is a lot, and he likes to play, and he likes to be in your face, and he likes to climb on top of you. So he does a lot. But anyways, they ended up moving him up to the next room above. So I guess that is just a long-winded way of me to say that his daycare experience did not go the way that we planned. We all got sick, and now he's starting at a new daycare, and we're hoping that it goes a little bit better. So that was a lot. I had to get that off my chest, because this is like my first time actually talking about it out loud. But yeah, that's why I didn't record any podcast episode last week, was because I was just so sick, and I literally, I didn't want to come on here sounding like how I was sounding, because I was so congested. It was literally disgusting. And then also just trying to take care of Ace too. Like it was just all too much. I needed to preserve my energy. And yeah, so I apologize for not posting anything last week. And I also apologize for not posting this episode on a Monday, because I think I'm posting this on Tuesday, because again, this past week, like with Ace not being in school and me just being here with him, like I just did not have the time to record during the week to post on Monday. So I'm actually recording this on Monday, and I'm posting this tomorrow, which is Tuesday, which is today if you're listening to this on a Tuesday. It's confusing, I know, but we're going to jump off of that and side sweep into some other exciting news. I told y'all a lot happened. So as you guys know, me and Justin were trying to sell our house, and we finally got an offer. We are officially under contract as of last Friday. So everything is just kind of moving very fast now at this point. The people have an inspection on tomorrow, which is today if you're listening to this on the Tuesday, but they're coming on Tuesday to do the inspection of the house, and we're just hoping that everything goes well with that. So, and they don't tell us that we have to like replace the floors or the roof or something crazy like that, because then that would just like not be good. But if all goes well, then we are going to be set to sign and close on our house and close on the sale of this house in March, which is like literally next month, so soon. So we spent the weekend kind of packing up some stuff. We started with the attic, and we're just kind of going to go room by room. So if in the upcoming weeks you guys see my space kind of moving a little bit, and I'm like not in this office anymore, then that is why, because we're just packing things up and moving things around, and this house is going to be empty very, very soon. I can't even believe that like it's all happening, and we're going to be in our new house. And I mean, it's still going to take some time for us to get into the new house, because we're redoing the floors and things like that. But hopefully we're hoping to be moved in and like having the floors and everything done by like mid-March ish. So anyways, it's going to be happening very soon. And like I said, there's just been a lot going on over here. So I just needed a moment to catch my breath. I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute too, but I'm super excited for like all of the home content that I'm now gonna get to do. You know, the renovation side of it, the decorating side of it, the like buying furniture and cutesy little things. Like, I am so excited for that era of my content creation journey. What else has happened? I feel like honestly, this episode might just be full of like life updates, and then next week will just be, you know, talking about something else, because I just feel like I just want to talk to my girls. Like, it's just been so long and I just want to sit here and talk to my girls. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, then you know that I posted about like my hair, how much I haven't been enjoying it. Like, it's just been, I don't know. She just hasn't been what I need her to be. And I'm really having like a hair crisis. So I found this, what are they called? Hairstylist. I found this hairstylist on Instagram. She's from New Orleans and she specializes in like cutting curly hair. So your girl is getting a haircut, and I'm so excited because this is only my second curly haircut that I've ever had in my life. First one I got, I was in LA and I went to, what's his name? Shymel. Anyways, if you're a curly girl, then you know who he is. And his salon specializes in like diva cuts and curly cuts and all that kind of stuff. So I was super excited to like get a chance to go to his salon. But that was literally years ago, like pre-pandemic, like 2019. It was actually a very long time ago. So my hair now has just kind of like grown out to one length. There's no layers, there's no volume, there's no like dimension. So I'm really just looking forward to having something new and fresh. And I'm always kind of wary when I let people cut my hair or do anything to my hair, just because like I'm very picky about my hair. But I just feel like it's time for a change, and what better time for a change than like all these life changes that I've had recently, being a mom, selling our house, moving into a new one, like celebrating a birthday very soon. Like, I don't know, I'm just having all these life changes and I just feel like my hair needs to change with me. So I'm gonna get my hair cut. I have my appointment scheduled for March 9th, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get it cut to like, I don't know, maybe my collarbones, because right now it's a little bit past my boobs, but I really want it to be shorter. I want to have layers, maybe have a little bit of a bang in the front. I don't know. I want something new and fresh and light and fun, and I'm hoping that that is what it gives. As far as Ace's first birthday party is going, I am in the thick of like trying to plan this party, and it's gonna be at my grandparents' house, and I already know the theme. I'm trying to decide if I should tell y'all the theme or not. I guess it's really not that big of a secret, but the theme is gonna be Ace's first rodeo. So I'm trying to get like all of the little moving pieces. Like, I really, really want to have horseback rides in my grandparents' backyard because they have like a whole bunch of land. So I'm trying to rent like 2 horses that can guide people, you know, like around the lake, around the backyard, and just have the kids be able to ride the horses. I also was looking into maybe getting a mechanical bull for the adults to get on, but it's kind of expensive. So I don't know if I can get that, but I'm trying to work out all the logistics. I need to get like tables and chairs and the backdrop and like his outfit and our outfits, and it's just gonna be a lot, but I'm trying to hurry up and get that plan because I knew that it was coming, but like it snuck up on me so quickly, and now I only have like 3 weeks to try and pull this together because his party is going to be on his birthday, which is March 2nd, and it's a Saturday. So I got to get an invitation sent out and just like a whole bunch of stuff, and it's honestly driving me up a wall, but I just cannot believe that my baby is about to be 1 year old. Like, how did we get here? You know, I feel like I just had you. I feel like we were just in the hospital together, and now you're turning 1 and you're about to be walking and like becoming your own little person. Like, it makes me so sad to think about, but it's also exciting just like watching him grow up and seeing him evolve and develop and just like use his brain. Like, it's so interesting when you just watch them play and how they just like put 2 and 2 together, and they're like, oh, this is how this works, or I can actually open this drawer, or oh my goodness, I can climb up on this couch. Like, he has learned so many different things, and I'm just so excited to see like how he continues to grow and develop as the years go on. But yes, I am in the thick of planning his first birthday party, so that's what that is. Another little update, I ended up finishing the ACOTAR theories, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I started it back in December and I finished it literally last month. Actually, I finished the last book on the first day of February, but I'm just going to say I finished them all last month because that just sounds better. But I literally read 4 books in 1 month, you guys. Like, that's progress, okay? From reading 0 books to reading 4 in a month. Like, I'm a reading girly now. You can't tell me nothing. But honestly, this series has literally, and I don't mean to sound dramatic, but it has changed my life. Like, it was so good. I couldn't put it down. It was such a good read, and the characters and the plot and just like the world in general, it just sucks you in. Like, you just want to keep being in that world forever. Like, I thought people were being dramatic when they were talking about this series on TikTok, saying how like, oh my gosh, I wish that I could, experience reading these books for the first time again, or I couldn't pick up another book after I finished this series because like I just wanted to stay in this world. Like, I thought people were literally joking. But after you read the books, you're just like, no, like I want to keep reading about these characters and learning about them and like seeing what they're doing, because you just get so invested. And if you guys don't know what the series is about, it's basically like what do they call it? Romantic fantasy, but there's a word for it. Romantasy. I was about to say phantasmic. It's a, what did I say? Romantasy book series, and it's basically like set in this fairy world, and there's romance and there's war and there's a little bit of spice too. Like, it just has everything in a book that like you could ever want. And I don't know, like, it's just, I would recommend this series to anyone. And now I'm going to be reading like the other series that this author has, because she has 2 other ones that people rave about. Thorn of Glass, I think is what it's called. And then Crescent City, which the 3rd book of Crescent City just came out. I sound like such a book nerd. Goodbye. But no, I'm really excited to start reading those books. So I have to order them. But I think I'm going to start reading Crescent City next. And me and my friend, we're actually going to start like our own little book club. Please, I sound like such a nerd. But we're reading like the same books and like we're into like the same things. So I was just like, let's just start a book club. Like, since we're reading the same things anyway, like let's just read the same books at the same time and like have a discussion about them. And I don't know what people do in a book club. I've never been in a book club before, but first time for everything, right? So yes, anyways, I say all of that to say I am a total book nerd now, and I want to just read all the time. And Justin low-key kind of hates it because I'm like ignoring him a lot of the time, but I just be so invested, and I'm just like page after page after page. And every time I'm like, okay, I'm going to end it, I'm going to stop reading after this chapter, something happens and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to keep reading and like see how this is going to end. But I'm so glad though, because now I remember why I used to like reading so much. Like, I was such an avid reader in high school and in middle school, and I just kind of stopped once I got to college, and now I just feel like I'm getting back into the reading world, and it feels so nice. But anyways, I don't know if you guys are here for just a whole episode of life updates, but I do have an episode like planned. Like, I'm looking at the outline that I made for myself for today's episode, but I've already been talking for almost 20 minutes about my life updates, and I don't want this to be like an hour and a half episode. So now I'm trying to decide, like, do I just keep talking about things, or do I actually get into what today's topic is supposed to be about? Oh, okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this week just kind of be like fun, random, talk about whatever. And then next week we're going to get into what today's topic was supposed to be about. But next week we're going to be talking about self-love. Is self-love toxic? How to take steps towards self-love? What my journey of self-love has looked like, because obviously we're in the month of love, and I know a lot of times, like, I kind of talk about like the relationship side of things, but I really want to, talk about your relationship that you have with yourself, especially because it's something that I'm like actively walking through right now. So that's what's going to be next week's episode. So I'm so sorry. Like, these past 2 weeks have just been chaos and crazy, and not the type of content that I usually do. So I do apologize if you're new to the podcast and you're just like, why is this girl just rambling on about her life? Because That's just what I do sometimes, okay? It's not very often. It's not very often, but today I just feel like it was necessary because I've been gone for a little while and I just had to catch y'all up on what's been going on in my life. But outside of like my life, I guess I can talk about some things that have just been going on in the world. Like the Grammys just happened last night or this past Sunday. I did watch a little bit of it. I didn't watch like the whole thing because I was tired, okay? I need to go to sleep because I've been waking up early. But I did watch some of the Grammys. I saw Taylor Swift announced her new album. I thought we were getting Reputation, Taylor's version, but obviously we're getting just a whole new album in general. So I don't really know how I'm going to feel about that. I'm not like a super big Taylor Swift fan, but like I love me some Reputation, love Fearless, love Speak Now. Like those are probably like my 3 top albums that she's had. I mean, I guess I'll give it a listen, but it doesn't really look like it's going to be my cup of tea. Miley Cyrus won her first Grammy, which I was so excited for her. But honestly, I thought that she had already won a Grammy. Like, I feel like Miley Cyrus should already have a Grammy. And to find out that she got her first one for Flowers, I'm like, she's Miss Hannah Montana. Like, she should have been had all the Grammys. Victoria Monet won Best New Artist. Oh my gosh, I was so happy for her, even though I was kind of like, why is she in the new artist category? Because Victoria Monet, she has been, okay? She done wrote hit after hit after hit. She's had her own mixtapes and music pieces, and I'm like, she's not new, but I'm glad that she's finally, you know, getting her flowers, her deserved moment. Absolutely. What else happened? Jay-Z and his speech. At first I was like, sir, what are you talking about? Like, nobody is following you. But then obviously he started talking about Beyonce and how she's never won album of the year and she has the most Grammys and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, like maybe you're right, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't even know if I want to say this because I don't want the Beehive to come after me. Like, I do like Beyonce, but I'm not like a diehard Beyonce fan. Like, I'll listen to her music if it's on, like if it randomly comes on, I'm like, okay, I can vibe to this. But like, I'm not just actively like listening to Beyonce all the time, and I'm not like a diehard Beyonce fan. Do I think that she makes good music? Yes. Do I think that she has ever put together like a full, well written, well flowed album that has deserved album of the year? I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe that's her problem, is like she can't put together a full masterpiece of an album. Like, she always just has songs that do good from the album, but the album as a whole is not worthy enough to be recognized. Does that make sense? And I know some people are gonna come for me like, no, like Beyonce till I die. Like, I get it, okay? Because if somebody said that about Miss Ariana Grande, I would be the same way. But I just feel like from the outside looking in, I've never listened to a full Beyonce album and been like, that whole album was fire, you know? Like, I've always just taken away like, oh, I like this song and this song and this song, but I've never been like, I just love this whole album entirely. So I feel like that's probably why she's never won album of the year. Like, maybe she's just a hit maker, you know, which is fine. Like, I feel like if you have a lane, like, you stick to it, and she does make good hits. Like, her singles and her hits that she does make are iconic. So I don't think that it's a bad thing. I mean, I guess if that's something that you want, but I don't know. I guess I just say all of that to say maybe Beyonce hasn't won album of the year because she doesn't have like a work of art of an album that is worthy of an album of the year Grammy, you know? I'm sorry, okay? Don't shoot me. That's just my opinion. But speaking of Ariana Grande, her album is coming out on March 8th, like literally in a month. And I am so excited because I just feel like she's feeding us so much this year. Like, we got the album, we got Wicked coming out. She's releasing stuff on her beauty line. Like, she is here, okay? She's like stepped out of the shadow. She's like, I'm done playing Galinda. I'm ready for the movie to come out, and I'm back on my BS, and I'm here for it. I really don't know what else happened at the Grammys that is worthy of talking about. Tyler got a Grammy. Coco Jones got a Grammy. I feel like all the girlies that were deserving of a Grammy got one this year, so I'm very excited about that. But aside from that, have you guys heard about the news of Universal Music taking all of their music off of TikTok? Like, I don't even know what we're going to do. Like, honestly, I feel like TikTok is making a big shift right now, and where it used to be all about like the music and the trends and like the cutesy little dances, is now like not so much. I feel like TikTok is pushing creatives to make videos with their own sounds, using their own voice, and it's changing. So I do see on the one hand like how it's a really bad move by Universal Music Group to take all their music off of the TikTok app. But I do think that now it opens up a lane for independent artists to like promote more of their music and for more people to like use their music in their videos, because now you only have a small percentage of music that you can use these days. And then also I think it's going to spark a lot more creativity. I think it kind of opens up the window for a little bit more. I don't think this is going to last forever. Like, obviously I think the music is going to get put back on to TikTok eventually, but I think that this is going to open up a lane for more creativity and just more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not organic, not authentic, new. Like, it's gonna open up a lane for just like more new fresh things to come in. So even though it is a little heartbreaking that like so many of my videos are muted now and you can't really use all these different songs in your videos, it is gonna open up the space for new things to kind of come in. But I really was just thinking to myself the other day, like, how much I miss TikTok just being like the silly little app. Like, I don't know. I miss the dance challenges. I miss like the short little videos. I miss that era of like 2019, 2020 TikTok, because it truly was just like silly. Like, you can just come on here, do whatever, like make a cute little dance, like make it go viral. Like, it was just fun and carefree. And now I feel like TikTok is just everybody trying to blow up, everybody trying to be the next influencer, everybody trying to promote the next thing on TikTok Shop, which, like, I get it. Get your bag, get your money. Like, I'm in that same boat. But at the same time, I do miss the simplicity of like what TikTok was. And obviously things are always going to shift with the times, and that's just what it is, and you have to shift with it. But I do miss that little era. But did you guys also see on TikTok that they're going to start pushing videos that are longer than a minute, but now like horizontal videos, so like YouTube style videos, which I think is rather interesting. But YouTube is like their biggest competitor because they're both video streaming apps. And I feel like YouTube is trying to copy TikTok with the shorts, and now TikTok is trying to copy YouTube with the horizontal videos and like the longer form content. So I think it's just always going to be a constant battle between those two, but I don't know how it's going to work. But I said the same thing about YouTube Shorts, and now people get millions of views on YouTube Shorts. And I think that you just have to adapt with the times. Like, even though you might not be willing to sit there and watch a horizontal video on TikTok, doesn't mean that there's not people out there who are not willing to watch a horizontal video on TikTok. So I think that's what I'm going to start doing, honestly, with the podcast TikTok page. I think I'm just going to start repurposing the YouTube videos onto TikTok in horizontal form and just see how it performs, because I'm trying to grow the TikTok, and I know I'm not super active on the TikTok or the Instagram, but I'm trying to change that this year. So maybe by me being able to just repurpose the content that I'm already creating for YouTube and put it directly into TikTok without having to make it a vertical video and all that kind of stuff, like, maybe it'll make me post more, and maybe it'll, take off and get more people to listen, and I'll be very excited for that. So I'm going to test it out, and then we're going to come back and see how this little scientific experiment goes, but I'm going to try that out. Okay. I'm not going to be talking for much longer, but since I'm on the topic of TikTok, I just feel like I've been consuming so much TikTok lately. But have you guys seen that story of the girl who went viral because she ended up helping this homeless man? Like, the homeless man came up to her and was like, "Can I have a cup of tea? Like, can you buy me some tea?" And she's like, "Tea? Like, what do you like? Yeah, I can get you some tea." Like, but then she kept going and was like, "Okay, what else do you need?" She took him into Target and bought him some stuff. She ended up getting him like a hotel room, found out that he has prostate cancer, like ended up going to get his prescription filled and all this kind of stuff, like just doing so much for this man. And he simply just asks for like a tea. And she turns it into this whole thing. She started a GoFundMe. And the last time I heard, this GoFundMe has raised over $200,000 for this homeless man, which is like absolutely insane. And I know some people are like kind of precious about, when people, how am I looking to word this? When people kind of like record themselves helping homeless people, there are some, I feel like I've said people 20,000 times, but there are some people who are like, why are you recording? You know, like they deserve their privacy, all this other kind of stuff, right? And the thing, I do agree, but then also at the same time, like, one, I think those types of videos bring awareness to homeless people and then also give them the ability to, like she just did, raise a bunch of money for them, give it to them, help them out in any way that they can. Like, I think it does open up that lane as well. But I also see the other side of it where if you don't have these people's permission, or if you're just doing it for clout, like, and you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then I could definitely see like the negative side of it as well. But this girl was literally already like vlogging her day. Like, she does that on TikTok. She just vlogs her day. So she was recording herself as she was walking into Target, and this man comes up to her and asks for the tea or whatever, and then she just continued recording, and I'm sure she probably got his permission or whatever. But needless to say, she has done like an amazing thing, and to just see people come together and like raise money for him and like want to help him. And I even saw somebody in the comments like, oh my goodness, I work at this health clinic that specializes in prostate cancer, like I want to help him, like please give me his information. Like, she literally changed this man's life overnight and is allowing him to get the proper care that he needs and not, you know, being on the street. So it's just beautiful to see. I thought it was a really nice story. If you guys haven't seen anything about it, her name is Nai, Nai, I think is what her TikTok name is, something like that. Now, on the total flip side of that, that's happening on TikTok, I know y'all know Keith Lee, and he did his little Dallas tour, where he goes to like the different cities and tries out the restaurants or whatever. So he goes to this food truck and rates the food or whatever, and then he ends up giving the owner of that place $4,000. And he says to this woman, because they had a barber and they also had a hair braider who was like working in the parking lot, I guess. I don't know if it was in the parking lot or if they had a salon that was like connected. I don't know the full story. But he was like, give $1,000 to the barber, give $1,000 to the hairdresser, and then keep the other 2,000 like for you. Well, this lady did not give that money away like how Keith Lee told her to give it away. So now everybody is like, we're not going to your restaurant. Like, you're not getting the Keith Lee effect because you were being selfish with the money and like you were just trying to hoard it all for yourself and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, when are people going to learn? Like, when are people going to learn that, like, number one, having Keith Lee come to your restaurant is a blessing within itself. But number two, like, you have to be a blessing in order to be blessed. So because she was being selfish and she didn't want to bless the people that he told her to bless, now she's blocking her own blessing because nobody is going to go to your restaurant. So now what could have shifted into you like having the best business of your life and like being sold out of everything and all this other kind of stuff, you basically sold yourself out for $4,000. Like, she was not thinking long term at all. Like, what did you need that $4,000 for so that you couldn't give it to the people he told you to give it to? Like, it was his money that he gave to you, and he gave you specific instructions on what to do with it, and you was like, nah, I'ma just keep it for myself. Like, he gave it to me. I know he told me to do this with it, but I don't have to, so I'm gonna just keep it. Like, no, that's just not right. It's just crazy to me. Like, the amount of people who mess up when Keith Lee comes around, like, he's only coming one time. Like, you only get one chance. And if he comes to visit your restaurant, like, you have to realize how lucky you are. Whether your food is good or bad, you're getting that publicity and you're being put in front of people who had no idea who you were. So for her to just like miss that completely and settle for the $4,000 is just honestly mind-boggling to me. Like, I can't even. But anyways, that's enough TikTok drama for the day. I mean, it wasn't really drama. The second one was drama. The first one wasn't really drama. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode because I know this was probably not what you guys were expecting on my first week back after being sick and all that kind of stuff. But I just had to catch y'all up on what's been going on in my life and talk about some things that was happening in pop culture. And then, like I said, next week we'll talk about self-love. And I'm really excited to get into that. I mean, like I said, I had it outlined today, but things happen and we're just going to get into it next week. So, anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. I know that, again, this was not like my regular content today, but if you guys are longtime listeners of me and just fans of me in general and care about what I have to say, regardless of what it is, I thank you and I love you and I appreciate you so, so much. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday, a great week, and I will talk to y'all in my next episode. Bye.